from Oakville Performance and Wellness. Today we're going to show you, in my opinion, probably the most important movement for back health. If you can master this, you're probably not going to have back problems down the road. It's the hip hinge. You might have heard of the hip hinge. We practice it here all the time in OPW, and Dre's going to demonstrate it. So step one is she has to establish a neutral spine in a standing position. So we're going to use the dowel here, and she's going to get into a little bit of a posterior tilt so she's not overarching her back. Make sure the chin is tucked, everything's lined up, so that's good. Her feet are directly underneath her hips, and then the core is engaged, 360 degrees of core engagement. So that's step one. She's gonna initiate the movement by pushing her hips back, keeping them high. She's gonna be soft in her knees and maintaining that neutral spine. That's really good right there. So she's got a little bit of an arch, her chin's tucked, she's gonna come back up. I think she has a little bit more range if she goes a little softer in the knees. Take a breath in, yeah. And then she almost gets parallel to the ground. That's a perfect spine position. I really like that. She's really loading the hips. Her heels are connected. Come back up. This is a position, a movement that I really encourage people to do without shoes on, because high heels, like elevated heels, can kind of shift your weight forward. So going barefoot or in socks is ideal for this. Let's do one more. So what we don't want is for her head to, a lot of people will look forward, and then you can see how that disrupts the whole spine. She's getting hyperextension in the neck. That's going to lead to some headaches down the road. Or we don't want her to lose her lumbar spine. So if she goes into flexion, you can see this is probably the worst position to load your back. Like this is just that's going to lead to a herniated disc down the road. We do not want that. So it's really important to maintain neutral spine. And then the last bit is breathing. So she's going to breathe in as she pushes her hips back, breathe in and brace at the same time. Good. And then she's going to exhale as she comes back up. And the cue is finish with the glutes and finish with the core. And everything's lined up here. Sometimes people will actually overextend forward like that. That's not good either. So she's got to maintain, just finish in a neutral position. So that's the hip hinge. Practice it, practice it, practice it. And then once you can do that, she can load it up. So imagine this was a barbell. We could turn this into Romanian deadlifts. So she does the exact same movement. Now she needs to make sure that she's maintaining her scapular positioning. That's excellent right there. Chin's tucked, neutral spine. This is engaged, she comes back up. What we don't want is to lose this posture here. We see this all the time. That's no good. Okay, so that's how you do the hip hinge. Practice it, practice it, practice it, and you will have a very healthy back. Remember, move well, live well.